Marcio Fonseca, CEO, President, GRSL Mining. We are exploring, drilling, expanding resources in Sinaloa, Mexico. It's a silver gold predominantly company in Mexico. We control today almost the 100% of the Rosario Mining District. We've been successful in the last 3 years by acquiring concessions, expanding resources, and creating a much larger project.
Good to see you. Thank you very much for coming on the show. First time we've spoken or met. Looking forward to this one. Right, so silver in Mexico, everyone understands that. I want to kind of go a little bit further back and talk about how you've got to where you are today, because I think you shot out of the gate quite quickly. People's expectations were quite high, but the market's come off for you guys, right? So I need to understand that story. So you're the founder. What did you set out to try and do day one?
Yes, 4 years ago, after I sold Silver Crest Mines to First Majestic, and I went back to Mexico with some other investors, and we decided to go back to the Rosario Mining District. Why Rosario Mining District? When I was working as a portfolio manager with Macquarie Bank, as a division director, we had investments in the area. We realized that the problem was that too many concessions and projects controlled by different companies. And the solution would be to consolidate. We launched the company in 2018 on the TSX-V and a small concession, and started acquiring some projects nearby. So today we have delivered what we told all the initial investors. We acquired the San Marcial Project 100%. We acquired the Plomosas Project 100% and the Trinidad Project 100%. And we are rebranding everything together because now they are all together as Plomosas Project. Immediately, 1.5 years later, after going public, we were invited by First Majestic to buy the Plomosas Project. Why? Because they realized how successful we had been drilling at the San Marcial Project next door to their Plomosas Project. So they became the largest shareholder in this company.
Okay.
And drilling, doing resources, when we bought the Plomosas area from First Majestic, and that area came with more than 500 historic drill holes, a lot of data. It's important to say that we were the first company to put all this together in a 3D model and create a 43-101 for that area. And as you said, there was a bit of really bad reaction last year in the market, post-announcement of the resource, because the resource came with a much lower grade, because we are drilling with historic data. And to be in compliance with the guidelines of the exchange and all the 43-101, we faced a situation where the QP decided to place some zeros in some intervals, not sampled in the historic data. But we are addressing that. I can talk later about this. But overall, first time ever now, a company control a large district, multiple opportunities to have discoveries, but being very conscious about expand the resources.
Okay, nice overview and so on. I do want to dig down to some of those points, obviously, especially the zero value holes. Let's go back. So you've given us a little bit of your history there. What about the team that's with you on this? Who have you brought in?
Yeah, we have brought really a lot of really highly experienced geologists to work with us. I have the VP of Corporate Development, that's Trevor Wolf. He worked for Placer Dome in Latin America, a big gold company. I have Honza Catchpole, is German PhD, worked for big companies like Tech Cominco, looking for big deposits. We are all fluent in Spanish, so when you go to Mexico, we are running the business in Spanish. We have a lot of experienced Mexican and Latin American geologists working on site. It's important to say that we got the support of well-known mining executives in Canada, like the former chairman of Mag Silver is on the board of this company. The current CEO of Ascot Resources, former CEO of Quadra Mining, Derek White, is an advisor of this company. We have Eric Zonshard, which is a well-known mine analyst, as a chairman of this company. And also, we attracted the former Secretary of Mines in Mexico to be a director in this company. Her name is Laura Diaz. So you can see the quality and the caliber of the people involved in this company.
I can see that. And what I want to understand is who's busy working and who's there as a figurehead, right? Because you're around a 50 million market cap. The price has come off from highs of you're down to about 30% of what you were within the last 12 months, right? It's really come off, and I'll give you a little bit of credit. Precious metal companies have come off in the last quarter of this year for sure across the board, right? But what are you or those guys doing about it? Okay, we've seen a press release today. That's a good start. Maybe we should start with that. Tell us about the press release first of all.
We three, actually four, because we have the VP of Corporate Communications, Brenda Dayton, and the CFO, Blaine Bailey, that's seasoned executive for mining companies here. We are working actively in Mexico. We go to Mexico every month. I just came back from Mexico. And what we are doing as well, we are concentrating the area that we have the Plomosas Project. We are not working everywhere. We are concentrating in drilling with a staff close to 20 geologists, Mexicans, going around the resource to find more ounces of silver and gold. So we're not just managing this remotely from Canada, particularly in the current pandemic situation. We go to Mexico every month to the project. That's what we are doing and drilling.
Yeah, but as you should. I'm more interested in the strategy for getting you out of the position you're at now, because the market had expectations of you. The grades weren't good enough. This press release seems to suggest that the grades could be good enough, but you need more of it, and you need to get that resource number up. So, what's the plan?
The plan is being very active drilling, shallow or short drill holes. We have now 3 drill rigs on site, might bring more. And where we are going to drill this is we are drilling on the vicinities, very next to the resource. And in the middle because we are doing the infill drilling. The strategy is just look to find high quality ounces. What would mean that? Wide high grade or narrow high grade. That's what we are addressing. And having some resources already in some areas, we are not starting from zero. We are looking for extensions along the strike and down deep, not going for brand new areas. That's what we are doing.
So when you last put out the resource, obviously the market disappointed, not just with grade, but in terms of the scale of the opportunity as presented by the resource. What do you think you need to do now? I mean, how much more drilling, how much more money, how much more time do you think you need to be able to present something to the market which is going to be more credible, or certainly in line with their previous expectations?
In relation to the improvement of the resource average grade at the Plomosas mine in San Juan areas, we need to do some infill drilling. And they are going to be inside the resource, underground and surface, and we are doing that. As a matter of quantities, we are talking something from 3,000 to 5,000 meters of drilling that we already started. We can do this probably between now and mid-year and get this done, aiming to get a new resource for those areas this year. And at the same stage, we are going to continue to drill at San Marcial because we need to follow up on this high grade that we have just announced today, because they add a lot of quality of ounces. That's what we'll be doing.
Okay, and how much money have you got at the moment? How much is that last year?
We have close to 4 million Canadian dollars. That's right. What we have. I think it's enough for us to continue doing, but as we all know, junior company is funded by the capital markets. And that's what we need to rely, hoping for the better share price to avoid a dilution to the shareholders. That's what we are doing. But I would like to say that this company has a very unique composition of shareholders, not only First Majestic, but big funds based in UK, based in Canada, that are supporting the story.
No, I get that. I just want, is First Majestic following the money? Will they be following the money if you go out to market? 30% of institutions is good for a company of this size. What's your expectation of timing for going out and raising capital? Because you don't want to do it at 30 cents. That would not make you happy or your shareholders happy, I suspect.
Oh, yeah.
The little bit of action in the market, I think, which everyone's expecting for precious metals, will help. But what are the things that you're doing today that you think could give shareholders and new shareholders the faith that you are now doing the right things? Because with $4 million, it's not a lot. You've got to do things in the right order for the market, not necessarily the right order for your VP of exploration. So how do you play that?
First, of course, we are working hard to get the share price back by releasing high-grade results. Be wise how to deploy the money. We have a very small team in Canada, so the G&A in Canada is much small. That's important. Being conscious about to have cost-effective drilling. We own some drill rigs, so that can reduce the cost per meter for us. We can drill more than people who drill by hiring companies with the same amount of money, relying on some potential strategic partners that might look as a potential company to get along or get involved with. That's a way to fund the company. No, there are many out there, and we have a series of NDAs that can help us to continue to get this going and going.
So you're already in discussions with other groups about potentially coming in for parts of the property or as a joint venture partner in some way or shape or means. Is that something that you've been doing for a while?
Yeah, we are in discussions with a wide range of partners and potential investors because the company controls close to 700 square kilometers of concessions in Mexico. Whoever is a shareholder for this company today or potential shareholder need to think that we have the Plomosas Project as a core project and all the other concessions. They might, is an option, we are evaluating, turn into different companies or different ways to source cash into this company. That's what we do. And at the same stage, like, we are not selling projects, or not really. We look for strategic investors in the project and have an opportunity for existing or future shareholders of GR Silver to have a participation in new business. It's an optionality. That's where I see that.
Right. Okay. So it's not definite. You're looking at all options on the table, from conventional equity through say some kind of potential JV partner, strategic partner.
Or JVs or spin-off some part of the portfolio that's not really core. That creates a lot of options for the company.
It does, because your primary pressure point now is getting cash to do the drilling, both above ground and underground, that you feel that you need to do. Why not just focus on just the above ground? Because is that not an option for you, or do you feel you need to do everything?
About getting a way to be funded to do all the drilling that we need to do. Of course, you need to rely on the larger shareholders to start with. That's very important, as they've been supportive. If the share price reaches a level that we find convenient, we might need to raise some capital this year. Always watching the window. Like you said, you need to watch the commodity price, where they are, how the market is in relation to the company. All the alternatives, we have some royalties that we can really monetize and think that we can work with, right? That help us. We are not looking this as just a drilling company, drilling for resources, a business, no? And controlling a district, no? All this can provide some different avenues for sourcing capital and minimize dilution.
No, I'd like that. I'd like that because it's very commercial, and some people get carried away with the geology and they forget about the rest of running a business. So I like that. I like that attitude. It's important for you at some point to be able to communicate to the market some of these initiatives, so they feel that you're not financially constrained, and you're able to do some of the things which will release the value in some of these commercial initiatives, right? So I get that you've got options on the table, and it must be frustrating for you because the market is doing or did what it did in the last quarter. But are you able to slow down the pace at which you're working and slow down the consumption of the cash flow until you hit one of these things? Or have you got a program in place which is it's off and running, and you will have to, no matter what, go and raise capital at whatever that costs you in the market and dilute shareholders going forward? So how much control have you got?
Yes, we are able to slow down. First and more important, why? We control 100% of assets. We don't need to have to make any payment to any assets. Everything's paid already. Having the drill rigs by ourselves, 3 drill rigs, gives us flexibility when to turn on and turn off. If you need to drill more, we can bring a third party, if that's the case, and create a good mix of contracts and our own and operated drill rigs. We have all the camps already set up. We don't need to build anything. We can maintain the people. Other point is, as we announced last year, we have third parties approaching us for some specific concessions. As we sold one last year and we got a royalty, that royalty can be monetized. We are very active in many fronts, trying to mitigate the risk and making sure that the financial support and the ongoing certainty of the business continue, no?
So if I look at the way you come out, San Marcial, that's underground, right? So high grade is always very attractive, nice for headlines, but it's depending on the widths we're talking about, it's going to affect the economics, after dilution, etc. And you've got to think. You're getting this balance between the here and the now, what's going to capture the attention in the market, and what's actually going to be the most valuable thing further down the line. And when you kind of cash constrained, or you have, not as much cash as you want to play with, you make different sorts of decisions. So with San Marcial, what's the game plan for that? Would that be prime for flipping out or JVing or strategic partner or selling? How are you looking at San Marcial?
I'll give a bit of background on San Marcial. This property was controlled by Silver Standard that became SSR Mining. We had two junior companies for 10 years playing around. We are the first company that went through the process to enter in an option and acquire 100% of the asset. And first company to put a tunnel inside the mountain, because that's the future of the project, the underground potential. And it's very attractive because it can be an initial open pit. Not many silver mines in Mexico can be open pit to start with, low cost. But we realized that the future of the project is going down deep. And to do that, we need to drill, is what we did. And we are just presenting to the market that we are able to demonstrate that we have width and grade that attractive for underground potential in a project that 5-7 years ago on the street was a common discussion that, there's nothing underground, it's just close to the surface.
So, but with San Marcial, you've I don't know how many drills are turning. You've got eight holes with another 5 assays pending at the moment. So how many drills are you allocating to that?
The program was 8 drill holes because to start with, you released 3 drill holes, there's 5 pending, okay? And hope by early next month we can get these results out. But there will be more drilling now that the tunnel is there.
So would you say that is the focus in terms of the drill budget is focused on this? So you didn't answer the question with regards to
the drill focus. What we are going to concentrate as a method of drilling on that San Marcial tunnel to continue to expand and hit the high grade.
Yep.
To the north of the Plomosas resource, because we believe not only we can do the infill drilling there, but we need to drill along the strike. And there's another area that's the San Juan resource. Altogether, these are very close by. The San Juan, now we are connecting with the Loma Dorada and making what was initially a 500-meter target, probably close to 1.2 kilometers long. We are not going drilling everywhere. We are drilling very close the resource nearby or some infill.
Got it. Okay, so we
to add the ounces.
And it's relatively shallow stuff in the sense as
shallow.
Yeah. Okay. And you're going down dip. I get it. And you want to explore along strike. So you got your 3 drills are turning there. That is the focus for you. And when you say it's cheap because you own the drills, I mean, what's the cost per meter?
It's something ranging from 85 to 100.
Oh wow. Okay, that's good.
Because we control the cost by ourselves. We have a drilling supervisor, and he put together an amazing team of drillers, and we control that internally. We don't have all the add-ins that normally would have in a third company coming. No?
Right, and so those 8 holes are about 2,500 meters drilled. One presumes the other 5 holes will be proportionate. You'll end up with something near 4,000 meters worth of drilling. Is that the drill season for this budget done for you, or will there be more drilling elsewhere?
There will be more drilling. Yeah.
Okay.
It's important to say that why we get to have a 3-4 week hiatus or period that we are not drilling, because we need to get all these results together, prepare again for the next round, based on all the holes, not only the 3. Including the 5 that are pending now.
Got it. Okay. You mentioned earlier the duplicating the zero value holes, right? So I wondered, what were the learnings for you from that process? Because I think that was a problematic.
It has been a continuous 3 years learning curve.
Almost.
Getting all this data, working together in areas that people thought we wouldn't have continuity in learning. That geology, there's more to tell us. We have a great geological staff doing a lot of basics to understand. It's important, for example, just as I mentioned, we did the first ground geophysical survey covering the whole extension from one target to the other for San Marcial. This brought up so many anomalies, but we are not going crazy in all the anomalies. We decided to work the anomalies around the resource. That's why when we were doing the drilling at the San Marcial tunnel, we decided to drill deeper and check some anomalies. And we got 77 meters with some gold mineralization. Never thought there would be gold there. Now we say, there's gold there. We need to work on that. So the learning has been very positive that we can, with the team, go around a lot of challenges and remove the myth that this district is a polymetallic and prove that can be a silver and gold district, in our opinion.
Okay. And with regards to what you think we should be looking for from you this year, I mean, what would you highlight as what would you put up there and say, right, we think we can do X, Y, or Z this year. Please look out for that. And if we do achieve those things, you should credit us for it.
Yeah. First, follow-up drilling. All the drilling that we're doing, they are going to be very related to the resource expansion and trying to get the high grade more visible. Second, when we complete these holes, the future expansion of the resources, no? And other business opportunities that might bring to the investors to realize that they might participate in other companies or other opportunities with the 700 kilometer square portfolio that we have.
Okay. Well, let's see what you do this year. And so are you a big shareholder yourself?
Before First Majestic came on board, I was probably the largest shareholder.
Right. Okay. Management still holding about 7.5% at the moment. Okay. Well, look, I think that's a really nice first introduction to the story. Well done on the press release. I think that is probably what you were keen to show the market. And we should expect to see some more stories as these other 5 sets of assays come out, should we? And that's within the next few weeks.
That's for sure.
Yeah?
Yeah, 3 weeks. And between now and 3 weeks, maybe other news release from the areas next to the Plomosas mine area or the San Juan resource. What I said before, we are creating a much larger target in the north of the Plomosas project.
Okay, sir. Well, stay in touch. Let us know how you get on with all of this remaining drilling. I'm intrigued by the commercial approach that you've outlined, and we will follow you with great interest. Thank you very much.
Thank you.